Okay, so I want to kind of go over something that's really been, I don't know, paramount and kind of like an epidemic with a lot of dealerships. I just spoke this morning to a high-level internet director at a BMW dealership in Illinois, and what's happening is that they're burning through internet ups a lot, you know, and I want you just to be cognizant about this. There should be 100% TO policy, 100%. No coordinator should ever be able to, whatever your word is, you call it trash when you dead deal.
A drop. We drop.
Or drop it.
Drop.
A coordinator should not be empowered to drop a lead at all, ever.
Right. They
And-
put it in pending.
Okay.
We're not allowed to drop it until we review it. But we are not been good on as much as we should on live TOs.
But even that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like on a showroom floor, when the rules of engagement on a showroom floor are really simple at almost every dealership out there. What happens is this, is that the salesperson is trained, supposedly, to do what's called the road to the sale. The meet and greet, qualify, product presentation, demo drive, bring them back to the desk after you do service walk, if that's your process, and try to gain the commitment. If you cannot gain the commitment, no matter what the person says, they can turn in and say the most compelling thing. You don't ever let the prospect walk up out of the dealership and leave. That is a flag on the field. You know, that's a foul. That's a no good. There's no, you know, that's not acceptable. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I'm not reinventing car sales. If a up is that important, now, what did you just say? You have such a tiny rate of connections, correct?
For the month of December.
Yes. So in December. So would you say that getting somebody on the phone has been the most difficult part of this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, I would stand by that. The hardest part of internet sales is getting somebody on the phone. So we all agree with that?
Mhm.
Say louder.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if getting somebody on the phone is the hardest part, why would we ever let them go? Do you think, no disrespect, I'm not saying prospects are fish, but I'm saying, do you think a fish wants to be caught? Think about that. Think about how silly that sounds. Think of like a big fish that's lived a long time in the ocean that's gonna know they're gonna be like on YouTube somewhere, right? You know, that's mounted on a plaque. Do you think a fish wants to be caught? No, absolutely not. The fish is like, you don't want to eat me. I don't taste good. You know, seriously. So again, why would we turn around and throw a fish back in the ocean if the hardest part is getting that prospect on the phone? So if the hardest part is getting that prospect on the phone, I mean, hell, you get paid. Team, you get paid no matter who closes the deal. Am I correct? So what do you have to lose? I hope it's not pride, you know, because I wouldn't care. If I'm making money, I wouldn't care if I had turned it over. But you need to have an environment that's here, whether it's you, Kelly, or it's a sales manager, somebody else in this department needs to be accessible. Because what you don't want to have happen is have the ability to say to the prospect, hold on for 1 second, and there's nobody right there. That's a problem. And I mentioned this in original training. You have to have a real-time TO policy. You have to have somebody that's accessible in real time because, you just said, it's hard as hell to get somebody on the phone. So if you've got to wait for a manager not to be busy, or you have to wait for a manager to call back the prospect, that's a problem. Does that make sense?
And I would say, in their defense, not defense, but Ryan or I usually TO. Ryan is also a producer, so he still has to do his 120 dials, so he might be on the phone, and I'm still, you're dealing with all the other stuff, so right now it's not set up well for the live TOs, what we talked about in our last meeting, you know,
and
where you need internet sales managers or you need help.
the way that this department was set up when I first came here, I made it very, very clear. It's very important. This can't just be run by just coordinators by themselves. They're busy dialing and pounding. You're not going to run, a multi-million-dollar showroom with no sales managers, no closers, no TOs. That's just ludicrous. You absolutely need closers and TO people. Even if your salespeople are 30-car, 50-car people, sometimes you just need a change of voice. Sometimes you just need a change of personality. Sometimes you just need a change, period, to be able to get through that prospect. Am I right or wrong? So we need to be able to have people in here. So the Dealer Synergy system is set up with either A, dedicated full-time internet sales managers, or B, point guards. There's no option. Option C is what we're getting. You know what I mean? So it's either A or B or C, the lack of results. So again, it is the deal with Synergy system 100% to have full-time in here, either dedicated full-time internet sales consultants, and in that model to be specific, these are full-blown showroom sales consultants that do not take fresh ups. Okay, what these people do is they would live in the department here, so that means when they're not doing a product presentation, demo drive, delivery, instead of just hanging out on the showroom, they would be sitting right here. Well, what would they be doing? First and foremost, they would not be sitting like this, waiting for you guys to throw stuff. You're not internet secretaries. What I would suggest is if you had a full-time internet sales manager is what I call that person, what they would do is you guys have different shifts, okay, and you're a small team. So what I would say is if I would, if Kelly, I'd be like, okay, whose shift am I in right now? Okay, this coordinator's not in until 11 o'clock, so I want you pounding the phones from 9 to 11 in her files. Okay, he doesn't come, he leaves at 6 o'clock today, so from 6 to 8, I want you in his file. So the coordinator would be able to have a backup, because think about it, right now, every single day, your leads just sit there until somebody comes in.
From
Okay.
what you recommended when we changed the
Okay.
schedule, they call each other's now. Not contacted, but the engaging, they call each other's, and it won't be courtesy appointments if they book, like if they haven't talked.
But that's my point,
Yeah.
though. What about the leads that are just sitting there that haven't been reached yet? Do you see what I'm saying?
No, that's with who they are calling.
Okay, so how are they going to do that and theirs?
Because they,
Have enough
because
hours.
because
That's
we're
how
burning
we
through our
get
leads, so they have
120
time to call each other.
Okay.
That's the issue I've been I think.
When you turn on, and I'm going to get through this, the burning through the leads, I
Okay.
agree with you. I think you're definitely burning through ups, and it's not technically all their fault.
No.
You know what I mean? I think it's a process thing, and I think it's a support thing, you know? But, ladies, when you hear this, and gentlemen, once you have the TO aspect, at your disposal, you should not have time to call another person's leads. You really shouldn't. You know what I mean? You should have enough, because follow my math on this. If you have 120 fresh leads, just forget about the carryover leads. If you have 120 fresh leads, I guarantee you, I understand you're not going to be able to call all those people every single day. You're not. And here's why, because you might have just spoken to somebody yesterday and they said, what, I'm going to go on vacation, or I'm sick, or, call me on Thursday and it's only Monday. I get that. But follow me. All you need is a minimum of 55 to 60 people. That's it. And if you call those people twice in a day, that's your 120 right there. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, once you get to that level where you're not burning through ups, etc., you're not going to have the opportunity to turn around and worry about the other person's stuff. Yes, if somebody calls in for somebody that's not here, by all means, be a part of the community. But the reality is that there's going to be a time when this is done the right, smooth way, that your leads are going to just sit there until you come in. So my model is put in place where the salespeople should be filling up the gaps. Does that make sense? So if I was an internet sales manager in here, my primary opportunity would be is obviously to do proactive and reactive TO. So specifically, back up so you can just see what I'm doing. So if I'm here, let's just just pretend that they were turned around. If I was an internet sales manager, even if I was over here, I wouldn't just stay here. I would literally walk the tier. Not this is a prison ward or anything like that, but I would walk the room, not like back and forth and freak me out, but I would just kind of just like listen in, and if it sounded good, I just kind of listen in, because again, the internet sales manager should be teaching, mentoring the coordinators. And even if you guys and ladies are great at this, again, it's awesome to hear somebody that's certified with product knowledge and has that experience, how they would handle the phones. And what they would say. So what I'm expecting of an internet sales manager is to do what's called a proactive TO. That's with you not even calling for help or I got a problem. If they don't hear something that's perfect, or if they've got an idea, they hear you talking about a used car and you're looking for papers, they could just jump in. Hey, my name is Sean Bradley. I'm the internet sales manager here. I was just listening in. Okay, but again, like you just said, it takes him away from dialing the phone calls. He's a producer and he's doing that stuff. That's your conundrum. When he's doing that, he can't do the other thing. You know what I'm saying? And again, he shouldn't be doing that. There should be salespeople or managers in here that are doing that. Again, it's a cause and effect. The way that this department works is the more people you call, the more people you get on the phone. The more people you get on the phone, the more appointments you make. The more appointments you make, the more you can confirm, more people show up, more people buy cars. So now, that's the proactive TO. Besides the proactive TO, it's the reactive TO. We need to create a system here and a culture like it's the showroom floor. I don't care what the person says. They could have convinced you, listen, I can't afford the car, this is not the right time, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, and that's okay. Because unless you are 12th-degree black belts in objections and rebuttals, you don't know what a manager can say. I mean, for example, you know, Joe sent out the holiday thing because of our phone call. He just, you know, shot out something there. There's people that will say, I just want to wait until after Christmas, or, you know, I'm just thinking about it, or, you know, and then instead of us just saying, okay, and delaying it, put in a feature. I don't want you guys to delay it. If you got somebody on the phone, you got to understand we need to create urgency and excitement today. They need to buy a vehicle today. You know, you've got to think that's the most incredible, huge Guinness Book World Record fish right there. We can't let that dude get back in the water and swim away. That's the attitude that we really need to take. And I'm not being naive, and I know it's easier said than done, but if you have the right support system, you know, and it's not your problem anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just turn around and say, look, I got somebody on the phone, they want to hang up, they're not interested. A manager should be able to jump in and just kind of reaffirm. You know, hey, not a problem. I just wanted to, you know, just jump in and let you know that I'm the internet director here, I'm the sales manager here, I'm the internet sales manager, whatever title you're to use. And I want to let you know that we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. I heard that you're no longer interested right now, or you want to hold off a little bit. Not a problem. You don't need to buy a car today. That's cool. Just so I know what were you thinking about, or why did you want to, you know, kind of prolong this, or why did you want to wait until after the holidays? Well, I need money for Christmas. Well, did you know, and I'm just making stuff up, I don't even know if you guys can do this, that we could defer the payment. Do you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? Yeah, you did. You still don't. Did you know that this is the best time? It's the manager's and the closer's job to get them beyond excited. Understand, you people are putting too much pressure on yourselves. I didn't hire you. We didn't hire you to be closers. We didn't hire you to do any of that stuff. Do you know what your main job is? Dialing the phones. You know, I have a lot of kids. I have like almost a basketball team now. They'll never play basketball because they're too short, but almost that team. You know, and I've seen that show, Finding Nemo, right, like a million times. And Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's what you're doing. It's just dialing. It is a huge thing. It really, really is. Sales managers could turn around and they're probably better than most of the salespeople, in my opinion. They should be if they're sales managers, at selling cars. Why are they not selling cars if they're the best? Because of their skill set, they're letting the salespeople get them to the process where there might be an issue. Now they step in. That's your main job. That's a huge job, you know, is to be able to dig through that stuff. Dig through it, dig through it. We have an opportunity. And if you've got an easy or intermediate, that means medium, style of difficulty, we should be able to handle it. But if somebody's going to push back, don't fight, don't stress. You know, boom, take that and dial the phone, get another one. You take that one. Now I got 2 TOs working, I got somebody else. I'm not saying broom it and just, you know, make everybody do your job, but work your pay plan. Make sense?
Okay, a lot of my drugs, or they bought elsewhere.
Then that's scary to me. Okay, stop it.